Thousands of lives could be saved every year. If only people knew the early warning signs, the subtle ones that their bodies give them. Weeks, even a month before a heart attack strikes, we dismiss them. We shrug them off, just a little tired, bit out of breath, probably ate something bad. But these seemingly innocent symptoms can be the difference between life and death. The symptoms that may occur in the month before a heart attack, known as prodromal symptoms, are often overlooked. But today, we're exposing the 6 crucial signs of a heart attack that can appear weeks before the main event. So stay with us as every second counts. Number 6, unusual fatigue. You can feel tired when you're too caught up with the work, chasing your kids and trying to keep pace with your modern life. But when this tiredness becomes uncanny, that seeps into your bones, affecting your overall life and makes you extremely exhausted. Then, friends, you're at risk. Don't shrug it off as simple exhaustion, as it's a sign that your heart is crying for help. You see, your heart is a tireless workhorse, pumping blood throughout your body, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every cell. But when your heart starts to struggle, when its chambers aren't pumping as efficiently as they should, or when the arteries that feed it become narrowed or blocked, it has to work harder to keep up with the demand. This strain on your heart can lead to extreme fatigue, as your body is not receiving the necessary nutrients and oxygen it needs. This can also be accompanied by other symptoms such as shortness of breath, dizziness, and chest pain. And one of the first signs of this struggle is often a profound, unrelenting fatigue. Studies have shown that women, in particular, often report severe fatigue in the weeks leading up to a heart attack. But there's more to it than just feeling tired. This kind of fatigue can also impact your mental and emotional well-being. It can lead to irritability, anxiety, depression. It's a vicious cycle. The fatigue makes you feel worse, and feeling worse makes the fatigue even harder to bear. So what can you do? First and foremost, don't ignore it. If you're experiencing unusual fatigue that doesn't improve with rest, talk to your doctor. It could be a sign of a heart problem, or it could be something else entirely. But getting it checked out is crucial. The sooner you identify the problem, the sooner you can take steps to protect your heart. And remember, prevention is the best medicine. Number 5, shortness of breath. It's easy to dismiss. We blame it on being out of shape, on the weather, on a particularly steep flight of stairs. But when shortness of breath strikes unexpectedly, when it lingers even after you've rested, it's time to pay attention. Unexplained shortness of breath, even during light activities or at rest, can be a red flag for a heart attack. This isn't just feeling a little out of breath. It's a strong need for air, struggling for each breath, with a tight chest making you feel like you can't breathe. Your heart and lungs work in tandem. Your heart pumps blood to your lungs, where it picks up oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. The oxygen-rich blood then travels back to your heart, which pumps it throughout your body. But when your heart is weakened or damaged, this delicate balance is disrupted. The heart struggles to pump blood efficiently, causing fluid to back up into your lungs. This fluid buildup makes it harder for your lungs to expand and contract, leading to that feeling of breathlessness. And this isn't just a temporary inconvenience. Persistent shortness of breath can be a sign of serious heart problems, including heart failure. Heart failure is a condition where your heart can't pump enough blood to meet your body's needs. It's a progressive disease, and if left untreated, it can be fatal. So, if you're experiencing unexplained shortness of breath, especially if it's accompanied by other symptoms like chest pain or fatigue, seek medical attention immediately. Number 4, chest discomfort. Chest discomfort is one of the most critical warning signs of a heart attack, and it should never be ignored. This discomfort can show up in different ways: a squeezing or pressing sensation, a burning or aching feeling, tightness or heaviness. It can be mild or severe, constant or intermittent. It might radiate to your arms, neck, jaw, or back. But what's causing this discomfort? Your heart is a muscle, and like any muscle, it needs a constant supply of oxygen-rich blood to function properly. This blood is delivered through the coronary arteries, a network of vessels that wrap around your heart. When these arteries become narrowed or blocked by plaque, a buildup of fatty deposits, blood flow to your heart is reduced. This can cause angina, which is chest pain or discomfort, due to inadequate blood flow to the heart muscle. If the blockage is severe enough, it can lead to a heart attack, where a portion of the heart muscle is deprived of oxygen and begins to die. And it's not something to be taken lightly. Nearly 50% of people experiencing a heart attack report some form of chest discomfort. But here's the tricky part. Chest discomfort related to heart problems can sometimes mimic other conditions, like indigestion or heartburn. This can lead to delays in seeking medical attention, which can be disastrous. So how can you tell the difference? Chest discomfort associated with a heart attack often occurs during physical exertion or emotional stress, lasts for several minutes or comes and goes, isn't relieved by antacids or other over-the-counter medications. If you experience any of these symptoms, don't hesitate to call 911. Number 3, frequent indigestion. That burning sensation in your chest, the feeling of fullness after a meal, the sour taste in your mouth. We've all experienced indigestion at some point. It's uncomfortable, but we usually chalk it up to a spicy meal or overeating. But not always it's that simple. Frequent indigestion, especially if it's new or different from your usual experience, can be an early sign of a heart attack. It might sound strange, but there's a strong connection between your heart and your gut. When there's a blockage in the coronary arteries, the blood vessels that supply your heart, it creates a bottleneck. Blood flow slows down, and oxygen and nutrients can't reach your organs as efficiently. This can cause issues like indigestion. Your stomach and intestines might not be getting the blood they need to function properly, leading to nausea, bloating, gas, a feeling of fullness even after a small meal. But indigestion related to heart problems often doesn't respond to typical remedies. You might pop antacids, avoid trigger foods, or try other over-the-counter solutions, but the discomfort persists. Studies have shown that people who experience frequent indigestion are at an increased risk of heart disease. So if you're noticing a change in your digestive patterns, if you're experiencing indigestion more often than usual, or if it's accompanied by other symptoms like chest discomfort or shortness of breath, don't hesitate to talk to your doctor. It could be nothing, but it could also be your heart sending you an SOS. Number 2, the restless nights, sleep disturbances. We all have those nights where sleep eludes us. Stress, anxiety, a racing mind, they can all keep us tossing and turning. But when sleepless nights become a recurring pattern, when you find yourself waking up in a cold sweat or struggling to catch your breath, it's time to take notice. Sleep disturbances, particularly insomnia or frequent awakenings, can be an early warning sign of a heart attack. Sleep is a time for your body to rest and repair, including your heart. During sleep, your heart rate and blood pressure drop, giving your cardiovascular system a much-needed break. But when sleep is disrupted, this restorative process is interrupted. Your heart rate and blood pressure remain elevated, putting additional strain on your heart. Over time, this chronic stress can weaken your heart and increase your risk of a heart attack. Studies have shown a strong link between sleep disturbances and heart disease. People with insomnia, for example, are at a significantly higher risk of developing heart problems. Sleep apnea, a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep, is another major risk factor. It can cause sudden drops in blood oxygen levels, which put a tremendous strain on your heart. So, if you're struggling to sleep, don't just reach for the sleeping pills. Talk to your doctor. It could be a sign of an underlying health problem, including a potential heart issue. Remember, quality sleep is vital for a healthy heart. Number 1, excessive sweating. We all sweat. It's a natural way for our bodies to regulate temperature, but when sweat erupts without exertion, without heat, without any apparent reason, it's time to take heed. Excessive sweating, particularly cold sweats, can be a startling early sign of a heart attack. When your heart is struggling to pump blood efficiently, your body goes into panic mode. It senses a lack of oxygen and nutrients reaching your vital organs, and it reacts accordingly. One of these reactions is to activate your sweat glands. This is your body's attempt to cool down and conserve energy, even though you might not feel hot. It's a primal survival mechanism, a desperate attempt to keep you alive. And it's not just a minor inconvenience. Studies have shown that excessive sweating, particularly cold sweats, is a common symptom in people who have experienced a heart attack. In fact, It's often one of the first signs that something is seriously wrong. So, if you find yourself breaking out in a cold sweat for no apparent reason, don't dismiss it. It could be your heart sending you an urgent SOS. Seek medical attention immediately. Don't wait for other symptoms to appear. Remember, early intervention is key when it comes to heart attacks. These aren't symptoms to be ignored, dismissed, or self-diagnosed. Don't wait for a full-blown heart attack to take action. If you experience any of these symptoms, especially in combination, seek medical attention immediately, as early intervention can mean the difference between life and death.